Wow, what's up, guys? Welcome back to 876 United Fox TV. Thanks everyone for all the support, during the establishment of the channel. Today I'm not really happy today. You all know why I'm not so happy today. Earlier on in the day when we did the game preview, I must apologize for the quality of that video as well. I had some technical issues. So hopefully this one is much better than earlier on today. I've just gotten an opportunity to, create this video and to express myself to you guys. As you all know, Manchester United have lost the Europa League finals, and as I said earlier, today is a career defining moment for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I have said over the course of this channel that I am an Ole skeptic. So for those who are just tuning in, Ole is the manager of Manchester United, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Now, he is a developing manager, so to speak. For oh, those who are tuning in for the first time, and as I said, today will actually define whether or not, in my opinion, Ole should stay as the manager or should he leave to pursue other things. No, I've been skeptical because I have not agreed with most of his decisions over the course of the season and even last season as well. You know, Most notably, the Scott McTominay and Fred partnership in our midfield. And there is nothing much we can do really about Harry Maguire and Victor Lindelof. I believe it's Harry Maguire and either Axel Tuanzebe or, Eric Bailly. But Ole seems to prefer to play those two centre backs together as well as those two CDMs together. No, I said earlier that today will either determine whether the players, if they should win the game, which they didn't, should they be hungry for more success, or is it just another L for United? Now, there's a few things I want to really go through, especially how the players played, how Ole, managed the game today, and so forth. So, before I proceed, those who are tuning in, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to 876 United Fox TV. And click the post notification bell so anytime we post a video, you'll be notified. Alright, let's get into it, guys. So firstly, I just want to, go over the starting lineup. I said in my preview, because you guys will hear the audio but you won't really see me per se. As I said, I had technical issues. So my preferred starting 11 would be the same back four that was started today, rather Axel Tuanzebe over Eric Bailly, but Eric Bailly played fairly well today. Our midfield pivot for me today would have been Nemanja Matic and Paul Pogba. Then of course Bruno Fernandes as our number 10 player, and our three attacking options, in my opinion, would be Cavani, Greenwood, and Rashford. So the only difference that Ole, did today was to start Scott McTominay instead of Matic. And of course, you guys will know Matic didn't even play today. As well as, Eric Bailly started instead of Tuanzebe. But nonetheless, there are a lot of pros and cons of today's games. And I just want to just speak about them in short order. So firstly, guys, let us speak about the performance of the team. Now, for the majority of the 90 minutes period of the game, remember we went to extra time and penalties. We bossed the possession in the 90 minutes. I must say, poor defending on Victor Lindelof's part, which resulted in the goal that Gerard Moreno scored. Now, this has been something that I've been speaking about and is frustrated about during this season. You know, it has been either Maguire's error or Victor Lindelof's error all season, or the McTominay and Fred partnership's error. But today is Victor Lindelof's error, which resulted in us conceding that goal. Yet again, Lindelof failed to clear the ball. I don't think Moreno should have had that free header on goal. So that for me was a negative in today's game. As well as, Marcus Rashford had one of his worst games in a while. And in all honesty, I wouldn't have played Marcus Rashford for the duration of the match. Because if I was the manager, I would make substitutions earlier on in the match. I will get to that as well. In order to change the dynamics of the game as well. And that didn't happen today. I believe that Greenwood should have played full 90 minutes today in order to help us to have a chance to win the game in regulation time. As it relates to Scott McTominay's game today, he was the best Manchester United player today. Not often I would say that, but I must commend a player when he has played well in a game. Pogba as well had a above average game. He wasn't the best player for United today, but he played a very good game and he created several opportunities to score goals as well. Now, Bruno Fernandes for me had a below average game. When we're talking about Bruno Fernandes' standards, today was below his best. He didn't play badly, but it wasn't one of his best games. He wasn't as involved in a lot of, attacks and so forth today, which is understandable when, a player with a not a player, a team with a very disciplined defense is marking a player and a team that is not allowing a player of his caliber to cause a lot of threat. So I understand, but he didn't have a poor game in the sense that he didn't have any impact. But I believe if Bruno had showed some more today, the result would have been different. And of course, Mr. Edison Cavani. Can that man disappoint? No. Almost every game he plays for us, there's something positive to speak about, whether it's an assist or a goal. He'll surely provide. Or, he also works hard on the pitch. He's one of those strikers that works out his goals and works in order to help the team. Now, let us get into another aspect of today's game. And I want to just address Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and what he did for us today. Over the weeks and months, it has been highly said, Ole has been scrutinized for being a PE teacher, so to speak, a manager that is very inexperienced and, only has the experience of a PE teacher, a physical education teacher. Now, today, I would have loved him to win the game so he can prove those critics wrong, because before today I've been an Ole skeptic, and I believed in trusting the process because he has made most progress out of all the managers we have had over the years in terms of how the team is performing and so forth. But there are still things about Ole that I still want to see improve if he should be the manager moving forward. Today's results kind of put me on the side of an Ole out, regime at the moment. Reason being, I've not agreed 100% with his team selection all season, as well as the tactics that he has. I don't think that he has a specific style of play, an identifiable style of play that this is Ole's style of play. I don't see that. When you look at Manchester City, you clearly see the Pep Guardiola way of playing. When you look at Liverpool, you can clearly see the Jurgen Klopp style of play. And so too for Chelsea's manager, Thomas Tuchel as well. We all see all of these style of play from these renowned managers. And I think as well, this is a reason as to why Ole is a skeptic for me. Because he gets the job done in some aspects, and in other aspects he disappoints. One such example is today. And why I say he disappoints today is because I believe he had the game in his hands today, especially due to the fact that he didn't make substitutions today. Now that for me is very appalling, because a match of this caliber, a match of this importance, it would require players, especially the players that you have started, if they are not playing a good game, it would require players coming off the bench to make a positive impact. And we see a similar trend with Ole from last season and this season. We know Ole came third in the Premier League and lost all semi-finals we were in last season. So why I'm saying right now he's a skeptic, but right in this moment I am more moving towards an Ole out. I soon get to the reason as to why I am moving towards an Ole out. But yes, we have seen the progress, and he deserves some more time to show his growth as a manager and his ability to take Manchester United from where they currently are to where they can be. As such, he may need signings and so forth to help him with that process. But for me, why I am skeptic and why I am moving towards an all-out regime is because, I said earlier, over the last few weeks and months, I have seen a stubbornness in Ole. A stubbornness in a sense that he sticks to a certain squad. He trusts a certain amount of his players. Now, we can argue the fact that that is the case last season. But this season, we have gotten additional players and quality players at that. Don't be annoyed now for the persons who have been tuning in over the weeks and so forth. I will bring up this player once more, Donny van de Beek. Now, we can argue the point that he hasn't been used as much this season. And this would result in him having a poor form. But that's my point. A player of that standard, that ability and that talent should get more game time in order to adjust into whatever system Ole has. And so, if you have important games such as today, he'll add quality from off the bench. And today it clearly shows that Ole is a stubborn manager, because last year he complained about, not having the right crop of players to assist the current starting 11. He got Van der Beek, he got Amad Diallo, Alex Telles, and those players have not been, integrated into the squad in order to help the squad in an important and a positive way. Give me a second, guys. My device is wants to be charged. Alright. My apologies. So yes, guys. So what I'm saying, he complained last season that he didn't have the squad to bring them to the next level. He got 3 quality players. I wouldn't say world class, so to speak, players, or instant impact players. He got 3 players that are better than what we had previously. Luke Shaw, he improved this season. But Alex Telles is a quality bench option as a left back. And I believe you should play him in, Premier League games where the opponents are not going to, just to get him adjusted to the Premier League. We have Danny van de Beek, a former Dutch Player of the Year, a Champions League semi-finalist, and a multiple time, Dutch League winner. And he has been a constant starter in that team. And I don't see why he's not, one of the crucial players off the bench. Say, well, it's his first season, so I won't say, alright, instantly he should be a starting player. But he should be one of the players that always comes off the bench to help impact the game. And not even that I am seeing this season from Ole. And I don't understand. Probably Donny van de Beek is not favoured by Ole, or he wasn't Ole's signing. But the fact of the matter is, you've got this player, do your homework on the player. He's better than the likes of Fred, in my opinion, and McTominay, in my opinion. When we speak about natural ability and talent and the knowledge of the game, there are countless times where we see Scott McTominay and Fred being at fault for several goals this season. And we have a player like Van de Beek who can help, mitigate those issues until we get a CDM per se. Play one of, since you want to use McTominay and Fred, to help mitigate the amount of goals we scored. If you look at it, guys, majority of our goals are from those two pivot midfielders. You understand what I'm saying? So I still don't understand as to why, Ole doesn't have much confidence in this player, and his resume says that he's capable and he's equipped and he has the experience to perform in these games. Now, we can speak about Amad Diallo. I said earlier, Rashford had a very poor game today. And it needed a talented player such as Amad Diallo to impose his talent and to showcase his ability to do well in these situations. I don't want to hear a person say he's young, because when we speak about AC Milan, his goal was the deciding factor in that tie. So clearly, he can, perform at these levels. Look at what he did against Wolves. He played very well against arguably Wolves' best team at the moment. You understand what I'm saying? So these players are capable of doing these things, guys. So I believe Ole is the problem and the reason why Manchester United lost the game today. Not much persons will agree with me today, but if you ask a donkey up there or a dog, they can see that it's Ole, because let me tell you why my problem is Ole. Let us get into why I'm going towards an Ole out regime. Because countless times I don't agree with his team selection. I said that earlier. He's always playing McTominay, Fred, Lindelof, Maguire, whatever. You get what I'm saying? And we have Tuanzebe who needs development and who has attributes to suit Maguire. We don't see these players getting enough game time to elevate the squad and elevate themselves as players. As well as, he's stubborn. He look at what Fred did in our cup tie in the FA Cup against Leicester. He was at fault for one of the goals, I believe. And he didn't play well thereafter. When he gave away that goal and for the duration of the game, he didn't play well. But yet still, Ole has so much confidence in that player that he played 87 minutes. Excuse me. I don't understand people why Ole is so stubborn and he has favorites, and his favorites are not the better players. Yes, in his opinion, he sees them as players who are fighting for the badge and who worked assiduously to to um to achieve greatness for United. But no disrespect to those players. I respect them because not everybody can do what they're doing week in, week out. They're not good enough to be Manchester United greats and to elevate Manchester United. They're not good enough. And the next thing as well, he fails to make substitutions when the game needs a substitution. It happened countless times. It happened last year against Sevilla in the semi-finals. It also happened, in our FA Cup ties last year as well when we lost to Chelsea. And see, it came back and haunted Ole again this year. Why is it that a player like Marcus Rashford, yes, I understand, he's Mr. MBE and he has the ability to do things like what he did against PSG, for example. But for the duration of the game, he was a liability. He was a big liability for us today. He lost the ball countless times. He tried and get by that right back countless times. Remember I told you guys earlier on in the live, that Villarreal's defense is a very strong defense. I spoke about Albiol and Paul Torres, who have been a solid partnership, and their wing backs alike have just fell in, and just created that rock of a defense. I told you guys, that their defense is very solid and it's going to take a lot for us today to break them down. They haven't conceded a lot in La Liga as well. I said it, guys. And what I said was what happened today. And also why I'm on the Ole out regime now is because Ole doesn't seem to be aware of certain things, or he doesn't, make the fans or appease the fans in a way where he does things that will help Manchester United elevate themselves. Me as a fan here sitting and realizing the problem. Other fan channels, other pundits, some pundits are incorrect in their opinion, but they're entitled to their opinion as well. So am I. But what I'm saying, a lot of persons are seeing all of these problems that United have. A lot of persons, pundits, fans alike, have seen what Ole needs to improve and seen, possible midfield combinations, possible centre-back combinations that is better off than what he's currently using. And he doesn't seem to use it. So clearly it's favoritism there as well for Ole. But persons, people, United fans and everybody tuning in, if Ole continues with how he's operating, he will lose his job. Now, I am still giving him the benefit of the doubt. I'm not saying it's time for him to leave, but in truth and in fact, some level of progress was made for Ole this season. He has finished second. Last year he finished third. He managed to amass 8 extra points this season. That is progress despite Liverpool's issues and so forth this season. And everybody was expecting Chelsea to be one of the major teams as well. But nonetheless, it's still progress. We have amassed 8 points. So we've finished with 74 points this season in comparison to 66. Right? We have dropped out in the semi-finals last season in this very competition that we've lost tonight. And this season, it can be argued that, okay, well, he deserves another chance because, he finished as a runner-up. But other fans will disagree as well, which I am at the point where I'm getting to the tipping point. Because the fact of the matter is not the fact that he lost today's game. It's the manner at which he lost. He lost it because he because of his poor decisions, basically. And why a lot of fans will be at their tipping point at this very moment is because he has done it over and over again. It's a recurring thing for Ole to bottle these things, to choke, so to speak. You know, these are times when managers should be on the P's and Q's and be on their best game, be the best decision makers. Look at what Unai Emery did today. Remember now, Unai Emery is a very experienced manager, especially in this Europa League, because he's won 3 with Sevilla and now 1 with Villarreal, so he knows how to win this competition. So right now, Ole needed to be on his P's and Q's today. You know, he should have known that I cannot afford to have my 11 players to be playing for the duration of the 90 minutes, and he wanted to play them up until, if he could, he would have played all of those players straight until the very final whistle. But we have to understand, and Ole needed to understand, and his stubbornness, someone needs to just whisper in his ear, Ole, you need to make subs. Someone need to annoy him sometimes. Because if you look at the history, there's no manager in history of football slash soccer who won a final that went on to extra time by not making any subs. It never happened before. It never happened before. So guys, Ole was at fault today, and that's why a lot of fans will be Ole outers today. And that's why a lot of fans will continuously call him a PE teacher. And I don't disagree with them because he didn't prove them wrong. You know, for me, I would say this season is a lucky season for Ole. If he's the manager next season will prove. And another thing I just want to address, we can speak about Ole getting 3 signings. The centre back that he wanted, Jadon Sancho, for argument's sake. I still don't think we are competent enough to sign Jadon Sancho. And central defensive midfielder. Now, I still believe even if we get these players, I don't think they'll get game time because I just think he really favors McTominay and Fred. And yeah, I really think he favors McTominay and Fred. And if we get a Declan Rice or a Ndidi for argument's sake, I still think if Pogba is still at the club, Pogba will be pushed to the wing just the same. McTominay will be in the middle just the same. And I still don't believe he's good enough. Yes, he was the best player today, but you have those moments where even those players are the best on the pitch for the day. So I give credit where credit is due, guys. McTominay was the best player today, but those players cannot be what we need to win titles moving forward. We need some more players and we need Ole to change his, style of management. Yes, we can say he's a very good man manager. But regarding, tactical, situations, is he the best? I don't think he's the best, guys. Because the way I see Manchester plays at times, that's Manchester United, obviously. Um, we play counter-attack football. We tend to, time to time we play possession where we take 5, 6, 7 touches and keep possession of the ball. But there's no set identity. So if Ole is to stay, in order for him to be successful, he should develop attributes of the renowned managers, Pep Guardiola and Klopp, for example. Cannot be that stubborn mentality who fails to make substitutions. He needs to make some substitutions. He needs to have a tactic. He needs to have players that are dependable. His so-called dependable players are not dependable because they are at fault for several goals. So guys, let me know in the comment section. Are you a Ole outer? Are you a Ole stay? Um, that's it, guys. I mean, disappointing. I was hoping to go off on a tangent where I will amuse you guys, and celebrate this trophy, despite it not being the Champions League. I wanted to, you know, I wanted to celebrate tonight. Pop champagne and so forth. But let's get down to business, guys. So, thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to United Fox TV right there. Follow us on all our social media platforms. Well, we're only on Instagram, so you can follow me at Tash Brian on Instagram. Follow Demario at underscore that Galopi that underscore, and of course look for 876 United Fox TV on Instagram, and follow us there as well. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Thanks for all the support. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned for our season review on the weekend. So we'll do an in-detail review of the season and what we're impressed about and what we think needs to improve for Manchester United. Thanks again, guys. It's my final time closing. Stay tuned for more videos, and we're out.